One.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Um, so today, we're talking about front end, right? And front end basically is divided into three aspects. We would say front end is like um it's more like, okay, the design you get to see on, like, something that you get to interact with, basically. Like, if you're to work on any page now, let's assume you're to go to a website or whatever. Those pages you get to see, like, when you scroll, whatever you're seeing. I would have loved to show as an example. That's basically what's like that's what front end is all about. Like, the whole thing, like, okay, the whole page, like the functionality of the whole page and all that. It's all about front end, like front end development or all. So first of, it has to come in about three aspects. The We have the popular HTML, we have the CSS, we have the JavaScript. So first off, we are going to be going through the HTML together, and HTML is more like, is like is like the skeleton. They'll tell you HTML is like the skeleton of um of um of a page, basically. So it's just like, okay, let's see this, like this page you're seeing now, like this current page. Yes, this is a PowerPoint, like this a presentation, right? But this page, imagine this a website you want to do something like that, and all, and this what you're seeing, like this something like what an HTML page, like a page with only HTML can look like, right? So, but without all this design, without all this coloring, without any of all this, like, it's just this plain, like this plain text, basically. It could be bold, it could be anything, and there are several of all these tags. So, starting introduction to HTML. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language, and is the standard markup language for creating web pages. HTML provides structures and content of a web page, defining elements and their relationships. Also, understanding HTML is fundamental for web development, as it forms the backbone of every web page. So, in all this, it's more like a language. So if you're saying, like, okay, there is difference between HTML and something like JavaScript. JavaScript is a programming language, while HTML is just a markup language, not like it's a programming language. So fact that you're writing HTML does not make you can write HTML, doesn't make you like, okay, developer or something like that. That's just the basic. And it's just like the backbone. So for you to make all these things function and all those things, you need several other things. You need the CSS, you need the JavaScript, right? And when you start writing JavaScript, that's when you get to start seeing that, okay, yes, you're already in the line of being a developer, basically. Like, yes, you're working with you're now working with these three things together. Like, okay, as for a start, you're working with HTML, CSS, but when you get to further into it, you wouldn't even need all these HTML, CSS and all. You probably will be dealing with something like React, something like even not CSS. You may be dealing with SAS, you may be dealing with something advanced. Even if not SAS, there are other styling stuff that we use apart from CSS. But for basic things, we use HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and that is what we'll be looking at in this class. In this class, please, I'm coming. I have to check my system. I'm coming. You were supposed to do this thing. Okay, so we would go through an example of what HTML looks like. So not to waste too much time, I actually have a code written down to first. We'll actually work together with it. We'll work through it together. First off, let's first see. I don't know if I can how I can get to show us this picture coming. I'm coming. Let me try change this page, switch page to show us this. How do I get that? Supposed to show. Can you see my screen? I hope you can see my screen. This is what a web page, like a web page without okay, this is what a web page without like a basic web page that that is written with HTML alone. As you can see, there is nothing like it's just text you can see, and something you can click on and all. And what else again about us? So all this was written with HTML and nothing more, and that's what it looks like basically on using HTML to just write. Sorry, I think I'd have to stop sharing at some point and to reshare another screen because I'm yet to get through this. I've been on mute. I'm very, very sorry. I've been on mute since and I've been talking. Okay, let me quickly run through this slide as fast as possible. I'm very sorry I was on mute and I was talking throughout the whole time. The thing is, I was talking about HTML syntax, and I was talking about the fact that for HTML syntax it consists of tags, elements, and attributes, right? And tags are enclosed in an angle bracket, the less than and the right and indicate the beginning and the end of an element. Elements are made up of opening tags, content, and closing tags. I'm coming, I'll still explain this. And attribute provide additional information about an element and are placed within the opening tags. So basically, in the last web page that I showed you, welcome to my web page stuff, that's just a very simple HTML, writing HTML, like writing of HTML, right? And this contains a tag. But to write that particular welcome to my website, you need a tag, an opening tag. You need the content, which is welcome to my page and all that, and you need a closing tag. What differentiates a closing tag from an opening tag is I said is a forward slash. That should be a forward slash. That looks like just a stroke, like, but a slash kind of stroke. So an attribute, this provides more information, additional information about an element, and are placed within an open tag. So example of attribute could be where you're writing something like a link, like that link that you saw now. You saw those clickable stuff that we saw not quite long, the home, the about, the which other thing, the home, the about, and any other thing that could be written on the first page, like service, contacts, and all those things, like those things that are clickable that you could click on, right? Those things are for you to write them, they require href, and href is just like a reference, like is like hypertext reference, like, okay, yes, this is what you're when you click on this link, yes, something like when you click on this particular text, this is what is referencing you to. Like, it should take you to this. Like, it's just like you don't want to write the whole link, right? You're not going to write the whole link. Like, okay, let's assume you're going to a page now and you have to copy the link of a page and all that. Sometimes the link can be so long and all that, but what you are going to click on most time on the page could just be a text of about, a text of yeah, something like take me there, something like take me there, and you click on, and they will expect you to click on there. But if you should copy that link, it could be so long and all that, but it has been enclosed. That link has been like enclosed, like wrapped up, like in a way that it has been replaced with something simpler, like there. So what that href, there's something that makes href is like a source, like, okay, this is the destination of where this there is taking you to. Take me there. Where this there, the there, where the there is going to take you to is like the link, right? So for you to, like, okay, put the link, it needs something called href. Href is just like a reference to hypertext reference that you get to, like, okay, this is where it should take you to, basically. So I was trying to talk about showing us about paragraph and all this, like we should just write common tags and all that, and I was talking about we using VS Code, and I said, am I still sharing my screen? I'm not sharing my screen anymore. Where is it? I'm very sorry for that again. So I was talking about using VS Code, and VS Code is more not like there aren't other ID like they use or something like that, but they are, but just that VS Code is like a popular source code that people use, basically, and is developed by Microsoft, because and it is known for its simplicity. It makes like simplicity, and these extensions it has like it provides you with several extensions that you can easily download and all. Like, it's just like this VS Code has like all in one. Like it has everything, like almost everything, like all characteristics, and this makes it a very good product for people to actually get to use, right? So it has things. So um, please excuse me. Okay, yes, I'm back. Sorry for the break. As I was saying, this syntax is, so let me show you what this looks like on VS Code. It's very, and by the way, if you don't, I believe, I don't know, I don't let me believe. I feel most of us should actually have VS Code or something we actually use to code, like okay, I'm coming, please. Okay, so I believe most of us actually have these IDs like that we use for coding, and if not, you can actually get to download it. I think, let me quickly check on if I can remember VS Code, VS IDE download, something like that. Okay, so just when you type on virtual VS Code, so when you type on VS Code, basically you would see. Let me share this screen. Let me share this. I don't know which screen you are seeing now. Currently, I'm coming. Let me see. I think you're seeing this slide. Let me stop sharing and she will share this particular one. I'm coming. Window. Yep. Sure. So I think you can see my screen now. So for you to download VS Code, just type on VS Code IDE and you will see. So probably go through this, download, then I guess we should be able to work on that. Like, or you could actually check online, yeah, on process of downloading VS Code, something like that. Okay, I think that would be better. So we won't or what do we think? Okay, so here is it. So this is the Windows, the Mac, and all those things. But to be on the safer side, check the process probably on YouTube or on what do we call it, on 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 online and check the process actually on, so you won't get to download the wrong file or download it wrongly. Yes, basically, so you won't get download it wrongly. Okay, so now let me just show us this VS Code aspect. I'm coming. I would have to stop sharing. Coming. Stop screen. Present. I think this one on to share. Index to share. Okay, I think you all can see my screen now. You should be able to see my screen. The HTML on this. Okay, so there are several things on this particular screen of mine. As you can see, don't be scared. So don't be scared. Actually, just come down, follow me. We'll do this together. Okay, so from my screen, we can see several lines of code, but not to worry. I wrote that because I wanted to. This is here because I wanted to show us what the page of HTML and all looks like. So we would just come here and let me just put this to here. Okay, so this is already, I've already commented all this out. So I come here, we would go through all this in the later class for this doc type, long eng and add meta short set and all. But for today, yeah, all this may not be that important, but it is actually, because it helps you to, especially when you want to work on responsiveness, you want to work on. So this ink shows us the English and all those things, but we'll actually walk through this in next time. But a very short form of writing all this, yeah, you probably might have seen yourself right trying to copy through all this doc type HTML, everything. So to avoid the stress of writing all this to all, you're just going to press Control and your number one. Oh, sorry, or shift and number one. So can you see what it brings out here? So it brought out a template, kind of a template here for us here. I don't know if you can see this doc type HTML. So just click on enter and that's it. I don't know if I should take that again. Let me try take that again and see. Okay, so let me take this again. I will just clear it off. So I said just on shift one. Once you press shift and number one on your system, now I'm working on system. I can't really relate with whatever other ID one you're using if it's not VS Code, and also I can't say what it will look like if you are not if you are using other ID, or I can't say for other ID one. I can't say for if you are using phone or whatever to um if not system to code, right? So shift one, then enter, and we have all this, right? So from here now, this title is something that okay, now let's run this. Let's run this. Open with live server. Okay, I don't know. Okay, you can't see my screen. I'm so sorry. Okay, I wanted to show something. Mm, coming. Okay, the thing is, when I clicked on this, I think the changing of screen is somehow stressful. So, but the thing is, when I click on this and open with live server, so how did I get to this? I just clicked on it like your left stuff, or that's your right, like your right, your the keypad on your the right click. I clicked the right click and open with live server, and that's it. And my live server, I use Chrome for the live server and all. So it's when you open it, I don't know if you notice. Okay, let me just share the screen again. Mhm. Okay, okay, let me just share it. Stop sharing. Coming, I'm trying to see if there's other way I could actually. I think I still have to stop sharing to share. Okay, present. Let me see if I can. Still have to stop. That's the thing. Share screen. I don't really know how to. It's not giving me the chance to actually swap, because what I just want to show us here is something very um short and all. But anyways, we still have to. Okay, can you see my screen? It's giving us a very blank screen. But I actually wanted us to see something. I don't know if you can see it. What I want us to see is at the top, like at the top of the system, at the top. I don't know. Okay, if the thing is, whenever you actually what do we call it now? Whenever you there is this stuff, if you should open a particular page, you get to see a name on it, like probably the name of the page, title probably, and probably the logo if it has a logo. But now, here on my VS Code, let me go back to my VS Code. What I have as the title is document. So what is showing on my page, if you could see it, I don't know if you can see it on the top page of this particular white sheet here is document. That's what is showing, with a word, like a word kind of logo, because there's no logo there, right? Would still have to go through this fully in the next class. I'm coming. Sorry for switching and all. I am very sorry about that for you. Before next class, I'll try to see. Um, okay, so now for every HTML, there's something called um. We have your head. Sorry, you have your head. You have so this is a tag. This is a tag. As you can see, this is a tag, an opening tag. and this is a closing tag. So inside this, between the opening tag, which is this is an opening tag, and this is a closing tag. You can see the difference between them is what? A slash, a forward slash, I guess. So inside this is where you have your content. It could be anything, it could be good morning, it could be good afternoon, and all. And once you write anything inside this content, it gets to appear on your website page, basically. So this is how it works, and that's how it works, basically. Okay. Okay. So this is an ed tag. It could be P. So I click on P and I click on enter, and it gives me this. But if I don't click on enter, I would have to write everything myself. So I would have to start from here. Can you see? And write a P and close it. As I closed it, it has just covered everything up. But to avoid the stress of doing all those things and all, just click on, okay, let's say aside. As you can see, it has what? Entered. Let's do another one. After let me try another one now. Article. I think there's article. So I just click on this. I press on and I click on enter, and that's it. Which other one? H1 now. Let's start with H1 elements now. Now, not to confuse us, let's clear this one. H1. I click on enter. So it could be like this, and it could be like this, and coming. So in this my H1, I'm coming. Let me see quickly see what we examples I have to give. Okay. Okay, so now let's work on this as fast as possible. Okay, so we start with H1. H1 is like, so now I'm going to write H1 to, we have H1 to H6, all kind of text. Then I'm going to write paragraph. P stands for paragraph. Take notes. P stands for paragraph. So there are several of all these of all these elements and all. So you would want to do yourself a favor to actually go through them online, because I can't actually take everything in this class. I can't take everything, to be honest. There are quite a number. There are some that you wouldn't ever use. There are some that you wouldn't even use at all. And there are some that you would have to, you can't do without using them. So you have H1, you have H2, H2 enter, you have H3. Okay, I'm coming. Let's write something on this. So we are gonna put, okay, I'm coming. I want to check on something. H2, H3, H1. So I'm trying to, since I'm going to be writing the same thing for this, I just tried to put this also on the same line, and the last one H6. So I just click on it, shift alt, then control alt down, then God is good. So I'm done. So how I got to write everything at once was just to write what? Control alt, then you get to see the down button, like those key things that look like left, right, center, and like left, right, up and down, like at the side. Just control alt and down, then just click on it at once. Control alt down, your hand on control, hand on alt, hand on down at the same time. So your hand on control, your hand on alt, your hand on down at the same time, and you just get to write for the whole stuff that we have. So now let's check this. Oh, I'm very sorry. Okay. Let me quickly show this to us what it looks like. Okay, first off, let me write before I show us. Let me modify this so you know that. Okay, so we have this to be H1, so we'll be able to identify easily H2, H3. So at this point, I'm not clicking enter here because if I should click enter, it's going to give me um another tag, and I don't need that. I just want us to see that, okay, yes, and this is H6. So we want to check the difference now. Note that I did not put it inside this whatever this template here. That's because I'm not coding like as proper as it should be now. I'm just trying to show us something. So I click on this, right click, open with live server. It's loading. Yep. So now let me show us what we have. I have to stop sharing. I see my screen. Which one I even seeing now? Oh Lord, have mercy. Okay, I still see the VS Code. Let me stop sharing and share. Okay, so as you can see different text. God is good, H1, God is good, H2, God is good, H3. So you can see how this went from it went in an inclined plane kind of thing, like okay, went like this instead. So it's all about H1. The text of H1 is quite different from H2, H3, and all. Come on, quickly check on something. Okay, so there's something called font size, but um I wouldn't put us through everything now, but there's something called font size. If you look at it, they are of different font size. Basically, they're of different font size. That's the font size of this one is quite different from this one. So this one is about 32 pixels. So 2M per 32 out. This would be later on during CSX, but I just wanted to tell that, as you can see, H1 is quite different. The size of H1 is different from H2, H3, H4, and all. So when you need H1, is different from when you will need H2. H1 basically will be like for something like you need an header, like something like, okay, let's also include an header there now and see what the difference. There's also a tag. There is head. So now let's see. So there's also header. So I said control alt. So this one will be up because it's not even working. So let's just do it different way because let's change this. Okay, now back to our. Okay, I've already added head and header there, a tag of head and a tag of header. So now let's see what it looks like now. I don't know if it is showing. Okay, so that's, you can see probably when I was typing it, you would have seen okay, now let me just write now. Head. This tag is head and this one is header. So I think you should be able to see you should be able to see the change as I'm typing it. So what's the difference? Basically there's no difference to me. There's no difference between this and this. And this with this, probably I'm going to putting this under God is good H5 or between H4 and H5. Just that this is bold and this isn't bold. So this is the same thing for head and head. But if you need something like, okay, in a web page, let's look at a web page. Portfolio web page. Let's say portfolio. I'm coming. I'll share this soon. Okay. Okay. I don't know if you can see this. Let me. Mhm. So just to quickly show us and take note of something. So one thing you want to take note is this. You see this idea, I am Giga Sable. This is your main word, like your keyword when um writing for a website. And that to be what? In a very bold letter, a very big letter, something that will catch you, whoever wants to read the web page or website. And this is something that you also want to include when, there are steps actually for there are steps to ensure that, yes, your, what do we call it now, it's like your code is well structured. Yes, if your code is not structured properly, the okay, now as I typed for portfolio website, it brought out all these things for me. And that's because there's something called SEO, right? There's something called SEO, search engine optimization, and that is one thing Google use. So if, for instance, this idea Giga Sabo is on a on H4, H5, or even anything less than H1, which is supposed to be H1. If it's on H whatever less than H whatever that is less than H1, the this would actually affect the SEO. Like it would affect what, as Google is bringing out. Google is just trying to search and bring out several things. So whatever is visible concerning that particular site, that's what it will bring out. So that's something about, okay, when you're writing okay, if you're writing also pay image and all those things, the alternative test also matters, because most people when they are coding, they always just write anything for the alternative test, and this get to affect the website actually. So these are actually, yes, you can code, yes, barcoder and all those things, but there's this small things that actually make you a very good developer too. Like, you don't just want to code and just say, yes, you've built a web page that has about thousand of pages, and yet your code is not something that is really organized. is not organized, then the use of words and tags aren't considered. That's it. That alone wouldn't actually help you. They won't even see the site. Like, it's just like it won't be that well known site and all those things. So there are things you actually have to consider. How you want to put this, inside which bracket are you, inside which tag are you putting this, what is coming first, what is not coming first, basically. Okay. So now let's go to, okay, I'm trying to share my screen. Okay. Yes, my screen now. So now, on this now, we've written h1 h2 to h6, then head and header. Now let's add the p tag paragraph. This is a paragraph. And which other? Also want to check through this attribute stuff too. And we'll just click on A. A means A is just like A is giving you a link. A, and this href. So when I clicked on A, it just brought out everything for me. A and click. So it just brought out the href, which is the hypertext reference, right? And now for now, I'll use an hash, right? And why am I using an hash? Because I don't have a link yet. But if I have a link, probably we are going to get a link from internet. So let's do two things. Okay, I'm coming. Let me quickly check a link can copy. Okay, I'm coming. Copy link. So I've copied the link. I'm going to paste. Sorry, I'm going to paste it here. So you can see how long this link is. But I'm going to write something. So you can see. Oh, shit. You can see how long this link is. But you wouldn't see this link there now. What we're going to be seeing is quite different from what is there. So now let's go and check what it is. Okay. Okay, I have to stop sharing. Let me. I'm trying to present this order. And they go what I do like. Um. So the outcome of this one, let me show. I'm coming. Let me just run it first on this on the. I forgot that by mistake. That was not fast. So let me this I've run and let me just quickly switch to this. Okay, so this is what it looks like. This is a paragraph. That was tag. This is about, and this is portfolio. So this about was the one we use a. Okay, so as you can see, I hope you can. Okay, so this is the about which we use for ash, which we use ash for, and this portfolio. So this about we use ash for it, right? If you remember, and ash is just like it's taking us nowhere. Now I'm going to click on it. It's not going to take us. You can see there's it's not doing anything. It's not taking us. But I don't know if you can see my screen here. If you should look at the link now that we are on, actually there is index.html hash on it. Like it has changed, but it's just that hash shows that it's not taking you anywhere. So for now that okay, maybe you don't have any link or what, you just put hash there. But now portfolio, now let's click on portfolio and see where it took. You know that it was a very long one we copied for. If you remember, a long word that we copied for portfolio. Now, and yeah, you did not see the long link, but what you are saying is what portfolio, and that's the content, like that was in that tag. Now let's click on it. I've clicked on it, and let's see. You see what where you see now? It's brought out something for us. Can you see? So yeah, I hope you can see this. I hope you can see this. Let me be sure. Yeah, so you can see this. So as I clicked on that, it brought out this for me straight up. So for times that this is just like okay. Okay, so now as you can see, this has shown us this page and all that. So this is just like so this is the difference, like using hashtag and using the proper link and all. Now let's move on to the next slide. I'm coming before we get to the next slide. So basically, in summary, H1. So we've talked about H1 tag, H2, H and head and all. We talked about P. We talked about A, and sorry, this is not showing. Let me try switch the tab again. Present, stop screen, present share screen. I'm so sorry, I have to switch tab like this. Okay, so now as you can see, we have talked about H1, we've talked about header, the P and A and the and also, and we said this is an attribute. Href is an attribute. We said P or any one of this here would be the tag, and we have this like the opening tag. So I'm just trying to summarize everything we've talked about. This is the opening tag, this is the closing tag. The difference between the opening tag and the closing tag is what? A forward slash. To me, I don't know if you call it a backward slash to you, but I'm calling it a forward slash, whatever slash, just find that. And inside this tags, we have what? We have the content, and this content is what we know now. And this content are this white text, like the white text that we have, right? So basically, that's the summary of all this that we've talked about. So, and one thing about, to quickly explain this part of just a brief explanation, I would go fully into this next time. So this doc type shows us HTML. So it's just like when you're starting with HTML, you're starting with HTML, then you have the head, then you have the body and all. But what is in the head is not is different from what is in the body. The head is just like it's just showing us. So okay, let me just write this in a comment. Sorry. HTML. So as you can see, so this won't show actually. You when you load any of this, it won't show because this is in a comment section. Whenever you see something like this just shows a comment, right? So um Tammy. So as you can see, this is just like the structuring of what HTML is. Let me write this in small letters so you won't get confused. Uh-huh. And notice something. Everything actually comes in small letter. So you wouldn't see a tag that appears in, let's say, bold on body. Let's see. But this is not, let's try this, but I've not tried this before. But this is not a proper tag, but I think it should still work. It should. But in React, it is very, very very wrong. Yes, it actually should. But in React, in HTML, as I said, right, HTML is not a programming language, right? It's just like hypertext markup language and all. So it doesn't really affect that. Okay, probably use what do we call it now? Capital or small letter or so, right? But now let me clear this so you don't put this in your head. Yes, yeah, it's not that. Okay, um it is not case sensitive. Yes, HTML isn't case sensitive, but if it were to be a programming language like JavaScript, like Python or whatever programming language you interested in, right? It's others programming language, most of them they are case sensitive. So this is why one reason you want to be consistent with what you're doing. You want to be consistent with using small letters basically, and when it's time to switch to capital letter, you switch to it. Because like if you're writing React, like something like React now, there are times you actually have to use small letter, and there are times you actually have to use capital letter. So if you are mixing it together, you surely have errors. Like in HTML now, it's since we've been writing this, we've not even gotten any error like that, right? But if it were to be a proper if it were to be React or whatever, if you are very, very good and all that, doesn't mean you won't still have error. To be honest, you will still have error. There are times that it will just tell you this, and that. It could just be a command, all those things. So you have to practice the right way of writing things, right? Of writing codes, of writing your title and all those things and all. So as you're seeing your index in another when you get to another programming language, it could be another way of writing. It could be camel case, where you have to start with a capital letter. Probably I'm going to write something like and hyphens that aren't necessary wouldn't be there. So instead of using, maybe I want to combine two words together now. Maybe like um press press button. So press and button, they are two words, right? So it could be that I have to use two capital letter for press, then the next button, the button would also be start with capital letter, then the rest small letter. So there you want to be for you to be a very good programmer, basically you want to consider your structuring, and also the letters. Like if you actually, the thing is that, yes, I think it actually affected me. I did not really consider all this, right? I just wanted to learn. I just wanted to know, okay, I can do that. I can see the difference and all those things. And it's not actually good, to be honest. It affected me because at some point I actually have to start changing. I have to start to switch to, okay, to ensure that yes, I actually write the right thing, right? Okay, to see that, okay, when you are giving other programmers, they can also read and understand what you're writing. So that's the end point of everything, right? So let's go straight to the other side, not to just get this much talking now. So that's just that, by the way. Slide, that'll be slide 4 now. I'm coming. Let me quickly switch. I don't know if we can see this slide, but I think I would have to switch. Okay, let me switch to present and share screen. Window, PowerPoint, yeah. Okay, so building the structure of a web page, basically. So HTML provides a variety of elements to structure content on a web page. Common structural elements include heading, paragraph, lists, links, and images. These elements help organize content and improve user experience. So as I was saying earlier, I just finished saying that there are structures, there are things you actually have to put in place to actually be a good developer. You don't just want to write, because you can write code doesn't mean you want to write anything and write anyhow. Because you can work on a particular project, and the next person that will be working on that project, you probably might leave that company that you are working with and have to move to another company. You don't want to stress the next developer, because you yourself, you don't want to be stressed, right? You don't want to get another company and you just like, what's all this, and you have to start again. So there are ways, like this programming language, there are language that we actually get to, that we used to communicate, like as developers, as okay as we are, like this is just a way of we communicating. So you don't want to like wrangle everything up, that you don't or twist it up, that we don't just get to understand what you're trying to communicate with us, right? So now I think we've done one of the examples of on this. So these elements help organize content and provide user experience. So, and again, this would actually help your the experience, like your user experience, as this is something that this is what the client is seeing. The web page is what the client is seeing. This is just the first aspect the client is seeing. So if it is not properly written, the user won't have a good experience, one. The other programmers won't be able to read also. And also SEO, as I said, it is very important, because that is one thing that would help that site to be easily seen by Google. Because when I type portfolio, there are several sites, to be honest. There are several sites, thousands of it, right? But for your site to be considered also, there are things you actually have to put in place. There are structures you have to put in. If you don't follow those structures, there's no way, because this thing has been constructed and designed to actually work with this. That okay, when you see an H1 element, like okay, a very big element of welcome or something, a welcome page, that is the first thing you're actually supposed to bring, that welcome page that has an H1, like an H1 tag. Because okay, um I don't know. Let me quickly show something. For every page now, for every page that we look on, there's something called there's something that allows us to inspect codes. Like when you click on it, you get to see what this developer of this particular okay, let me just quickly explain that to us, because time is fast spent. So there's something called inspect, right? You want to check through what this developer has written, right? And you are looking at it and like, okay, that's just looking at the code. Like you're not looking at it on VS Code, but on that expert you can easily check on expert and just check on what each code looks like, what's the steps this developer has taken, to see, okay, if this person has written the right thing, you want to read through, or what this web page is about and all those things. So you can easily read through a web page code and all those things. So as quickly as possible, this is our second to last slide. We have one more slide to go. Display the HTML. I don't think I'm supposed to take two slides today, but I don't think I'll be able to take the two slide because our time is actually short for now. So now we have on ordered list and ordered lists that we are yet to go through. I've gone through this H1 to H6 with us. I've gone through paragraph. Now we have on ordered list and ordered list. From the word unordered is just like it's not arranged, right? Ordered is just like it is arranged. No. So um let's quickly go to our VS Code. I have to stop sharing to share. I'm sorry about the sharing and stop sharing stuff. Is it?
Yeah, share your full screen so
Yeah.
that you don't have to be
So
switching.
now if you had seen, okay, no, okay, you remember this particular web page that we saw, welcome to my website, then we saw home, we saw about. In this one you could see it was UL they used. On ordered list means UL. Then we also have, okay, that was, and in that on ordered list, if you remember, it was a point that was there, like a dot, like to list it. It was um okay, let's just go through it one after the other. So this is the A. Now let's walk through this other part of um we're talking about on ordered. We'll go for UL. So on ordered list we could have banana, or let's just use the normal thing we okay. um come on, I'm trying to sort this. um I think this thing is not sharing again. It's coming up. Try present share screen. I think I'm sharing it now. ID. Okay,
Hi,
sorry, I'm back.
can
I
you hear
think I
me?
mistakenly clicked on Mama. So on that list, we have on that list, and we have other list, right? So now in this another list, we're going to be having a. Okay, first off, before we have we'll do something. We'll do two. We'll first write list li. We'll first write a list.
Sorry to interrupt. Can you hear me?
Now I would have another list. I would have another li. So in this I'm going to write bad, good, not so good, excellent. So in so now before we get to this now, let's check what our lists look like. So we have lists, we have on ordered list, we have ordered list. So now from here, I think I would have to switch tabs again. Okay, instead of me switching tabs, switching and let me just write okay, sorry, just trying to. So let me just quickly excellent. So we would explore this together. And in this part, okay, so the next thing I would just copy this, Control C, Control another list, Control V. Okay, so I think I have most of my examples is what I want to say. Okay, now let's just check on everything now straight up and see if there's any difference. So it's better. One thing is that we love experiments. We love seeing what is happening and all. Okay, let's see if this is it and this is not it. So now sorry, you're noticing. Sorry. Okay, now present. Okay, okay. I would have to round up soon on this. I think this is the last slide. So now share screen. I'm sharing this Chrome tab. So very soon we'll be done here. So sorry for yeah. So this is what it looks like. The first one was the unordered list. Then we have the ordered list. and we have the list itself. If you rest, then inside the list now we now have unordered list, and we now have inside the list we now have ordered list. So what's the main difference is that with there's no difference between this and this. There's no difference between the first and the second, as far as. So the thing is that we are trying to arrange a list. This is the list. This is what the list looks like. The list, like with that unordered, looks quite like the space is much. While when it's unordered, this is what it looks like. When it is now ordered, you have one, two, three. You have one, two, three. So it's the ordered gives you opportunities for you to like put numbers or alphabet and all. There are actually ways you could actually change this, but we would have time to talk about all this basically to round up soon. And the unordered gives you a bullet point and all those things. So let's quickly move on to the I've showed us on a hyperdirect and also embedding image. You would have to look through this embedding image, the next one. But on to our last slide for today is let me quickly present this last slide time before we move before we stop this. Okay. So here is a practice like something we can actually work on. So in this hands-on exercise, we would create you have to create a simple web page structure using HTML. I've showed us what it looks like right um earlier before. I've told us what it comprises of the HTML, the head, the body, and all. Right. So I believe we would be able to do this, right? Then you have to apply the concept and about HTML syntax and building web page structures and all, and create your own version of web page. I'll quickly show us what you can actually drop this image since we did not do this image, but we worked on elements today, we worked on paragraph, we worked on lists, we worked on links. Yes, we worked on links. So now what I want us to do is let me quickly take it back to the stop sharing and take it back to um what do we call it now? VS Code. So the main thing we have to work on now is before next class is to VS Code. Okay, so now the main thing we have to work on next before next class. If you don't have VS Code, download VS Code. I actually took us on the process on how we can get that done. Also, we worked on H1, H2, and others, right? So try creating something similar to what I'd shown you at the beginning of the class. Now, this don't worry about what the structure should look like. Create it. The next time we would be working on what the structure should look like. Remember I said for us to get this particular structure, this one at the top here, first off, we know we have the HTML, the head, and the body HTML, right? So for us to get this one, we just have to do something like the shifts and warn, sorry, just to remind us of everything that we've done. Shift and one, and you just click enter, and after that it gives you the template of what to put in. I would explain everything of all this the next class I said. Then but the next thing I want us to work on is the body, what the body should look like. You have the header, you have the H1 element, you have what you have the another list, the list, and other list. So just kindly walk through this by yourself. Let it look like more of what we have here, like the first page. Let me see if I can show, if I still have that page with me. Okay, I don't think I have the page anymore. Okay, but so let's just look like a basic web page, like without anything, like any of the styling and everything, like, but you should have the H1 there. You should have something of the list in that same web page, like you should have the list, then you should have what else again, a paragraph, and what else again, a link. Yes, a link, basically those four things. Yes, I think that's all for today, and that's all for today, and I'll be rounding up here, and I think that's all. Any Is there any comments? Let me see. Okay,
If there is
I think
anything,
that's all for today. There's no question, there's no this thing. I'm so sorry, I did not see the comment earlier that you could not see my screen, but now it's all fine and all. So basically, I think that's all. This is where we'll stop for today. The next class, we'll all work through the web page together, and I hope we'll actually get to work on it and see what it looks like. So we'll work on CSS together in the next page and put a little life into it. Thank you so much all for coming. I appreciate it. And see you all in the next class next Saturday by God's grace. Bye.
bye everyone.